Hey, what's up, guys? Desmond Dixon here with the AI Mentorship Podcast. And today I'm going to share with you guys some awesome game on a very particular service that you can provide to that I have done. I mean, I've sold hundreds of these AI services, and I'm going to literally share all of my learnings with you here today so that you, once again, can get to market faster, get the specific details to get deals closed, and then really understand from a fulfillment perspective what's going to be required and unique to actually get people results. Because at the end of the day, to win with AI, you just need to get people results. You'll build case studies, you build proof, you'll build confidence, you'll most importantly build momentum in your business. Okay? So this workshop is going to be all about how to sell AI voice agents to small businesses. Okay? We'll dive right in. Okay? So the very first thing is that you want to sell business outcomes, not voice agents. Voice agents are going to be what gets people interested to hear more. But when you're actually running through your sales call and then your fulfillment, you need to be obsessed with the business outcomes, which is going to shape the use cases. Okay. Now, here are three very particular things that you need to define in your offer to present the use case effectively, right? So find the leak. What is leaking out? Like, what money is falling on the floor? What opportunities are falling on the floor? Then you name that workflow, and then you define what the win. What's the measurable KPI on the back end to validate if this workflow that you're creating with voice agents is leading to positive business outcomes. Okay, so some examples of things that leak are slow follow-up. Like someone says, hey, I'm interested in a sale, and then they don't actually follow up for, a week or 2 days, right? So speed to lead solves that. Missed calls, right? People just sitting there and not knowing that you exist. There's tons of different leakages within a business that you can plug. Customer service, things like that, right? So for the best results, right, I want to talk about three particular use cases that I've solved that I'm like, I've seen these great the maximum amount of leverage for the kind of people that you want to do business with, okay? The first use case was speed to lead, right? So when a lead comes in, calling them within less than 5 minutes. Obviously, you want to do 2 to 3 minutes. I don't think you should do anything sooner than 2 minutes because you might have another step in the funnel of them doing something self-service or reading something or watching something that's super important for them to watch, and then you get them on the phone, right? And so less than 5 minutes speed to lead, best for inbound demand. The second one is going to be receptionist, right? So never miss a call again, right? So every incoming call gets picked up, even off hours, right? Even on weekends, it could be 1 o'clock on a Saturday, and the phone will be picked up, right? Receptionists can solve that. And then the third one is reactivation. So calling dormant leads or customers with a relevant reason and define next step, right? So reactivation is a little bit more complicated because you need to have a more strategic approach to how you're going to reactivate leads. Like, you just can't be like, hey, you filled out the form 6 months ago and I'm just calling to see if you get what you can, but it's not going to be as effective as in like if it feels as if you're calling for a particular reason. The reason why speed to lead is so freaking phenomenal is because you're calling because you just filled out a form a few minutes ago, and I want to make sure that you're being taken care of kind of energy, right? So that lead has way more intent, they're hot, and they're amazing. They're amazing. Now, I do want to share something super, super important before we move forward, because I think this is probably going to be the most important minute of the whole podcast, which is consent is very important. So there's a thing called TCPA compliance, and you don't want to use AI voice agents to cold call people, right? Don't do it, guys. Do not do it. You're going to have people beg for it. People are going to want to buy it. It's probably going to be the easiest thing in the world to sell because everyone wants to cold call people, spam call people. But if you open up yourself to liability, right? To being sued. And there's people that literally do this for a living. They sue people for a living for breaking TCPA. Like, it's one of the most litigated fields in America, right? So you want to make sure every single person you call is prior consent, which is why I love speed to lead, because the person clicked a little checkbox of like, yes, call me, I consent to communication, right? So you want to make sure there's documented consent and do not cold call, guys. Or especially if you're doing this at scale, it's just a matter of time before you get a letter, a cease and desist letter, and or someone that's just going to flat out try to sue you for $50,000 to $100,000, right? You settle for 20 or 10, right? That's how this game works with these guys. So don't do it, all right? Don't do it. Save yourself the heartache. Don't get discouraged, right? Just don't cold call. Super simple. Now, I want you to treat each of these use cases, like no matter what use case you do, as like a Lego block, right? Because if you, let's say you do a speed to lead agent, that's one Lego block. Another agent is a receptionist, right? Receptionist is great. So now you have a speed to lead and a receptionist. And then let's just say, boom, let's do a follow-up agent that follows up with every stale lead, and we're going to run them through this cycle. So like those three agents are three different use cases you stack together like Legos, and now it's a system, right? But there's three different agents. Do not think of this as I'm building one agent that does three different things, because it's going to get really hard to duplicate, and also for systems perspective. So I'm literally giving you the game of the systems. I built a team around this, like it's systems, right? You treat each one like a SKU with its own fulfillment. Some of them have overlapping fulfillment, but they're their own individual thing. And another important thing here, why you need to treat it like this, is because now you're breaking the pack out, and you're able to sell individual agents, which creates higher perceived value. So like, it's like if you go to the store and you can go buy a pack of water for a 24 pack of water for $5, or you can go buy a water bottle for $1.50, right? And so you want to treat these AI agents like you're selling individual water bottles, and then you bundle them together for a discount, but you want to maintain the value of your individual agents, right? The individual use cases, because each use case has an economic value associated with it, and they should have a separate price associated with it. So you want to break them out from the sales side for perceived value, and also to maintain your value. And then you also want to make sure that it's good for fulfillment and SOP wise, right? So it's kind of a double-edged sword of why you need to approach it like Lego blocks. Every single AI agent you build needs to be its own individual SKU, and then you can do bundling to sell them, right? And for fulfillment, like packaging, right? Now, here's some important information regarding like productivity dynamics. Right? So these are just things that we've built inside of our AI agents to just give them way more value and way more productivity. And so these are things that you can think of from an engineering perspective. It's super easy, guys. We're using AI. I mean, I want to get into the fulfillment thing, but I want to give you guys the game so you can build your own systems, right? So the first one is going to be retry logic. So when you're doing speed to lead, when you call one time, you might get spam filtered and you want to loop, right? So call back in 60 seconds. And then call back again in another 60 seconds. And usually by the third pickup, someone will finally pick up, right? Because they might have not even got, their phone maybe not even rang the first time. And then the second time, they're like, what is this number calling me? And but by the third time, they're like, okay, this 2 times back to back, it might be something important, or, you know, this might be a legit call. They'll pick up. Very rarely, I made over 500,000 phone calls with AI agents, consented phone calls, by the way. And very few people got mad because you called them 2 or 3 times. Like I can count on one hand how many people probably were like, hey, why are you calling me? Right? But, and then after you say something, most of the time they'll be like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. Other people, you know, very rarely they say, you call me too much, right? Another important thing, let me interject here. I know this is a little off scripted, but do not call people in the middle of the night. Call people during TCPA hours, all right? Don't call people at 2 o'clock in the morning, all right? So be careful, all right? That's it. I just wanted to make sure to interject that there, okay? But you also can do live context. So in some of these scripts with the AI agents, you can like have your script be dynamic. Say, hey, Charles, how are you? It's so-and-so. So even if it's an AI, when the person hears that they say their name, they're like, wow, this person knows my number, knows my name. And then you can also inject other things from the form. So if they fill out a form saying that they had XYZ pain point, hey, Charles, I see that you had a problem getting your clients on the phone. Is right now a good time to talk? Right? Or hey, you filled out a Facebook form saying that you're having some problem getting people on the phone. Is right now a good time to talk? Boom. Oh yeah, everything's good. Yeah, they're going to be 80% of the time people say, heck yeah, let's talk. Because they're so impressed you called them right away, and they're talking to AI. They're going to be like, wow, this is freaking cool, right? I'm talking to freaking machiner here, right? So adding in like personalized context from the form, very fire. People love it. The third one, which is very underrated, which actually leads to more business outcomes, is going to be personalized email recaps right after the call. And this is a whole nother agent, guys. This isn't a voice agent. This is an email agent now. So after the call, you run that transcript into another system that then sends them a personalized recap of that email, and it should feel like it's from a person, not from a software. So, hey, John, I had a great chat today because you're going to, you talked about XYZ questions. You're interested in 1, 2, 3 outcomes. You're having 1, 2, 3 problems. Look forward to your meeting next week with so and so. Have a blessed day. Boom. That's it. Here's our case studies. Here's blah, blah, blah. So personalized email recap. That always feels good. The prospects love that as well. Okay. Another AI agent, but very dynamic. But it's, once again, these push business outcomes. All three of these things push business outcomes. Calling them more than once, your pickup rate, your contact rate is going to go astronomically higher, which means you get more shots at the goal. Interjecting dynamic information into the script, it's going to create a better experience from the person on the other end of the phone. And then the third one is personalized follow-up. So actually following up with the person right after you got off the phone with the recap that shows that you cared and makes it feel like it was from a person and not from a machine, right? All three of these things, once again, drives business outcomes, guys. All right. So I want to start to isolate now particular use cases to get into a little bit deeper detail so that you have an idea of how you want to build these SKUs and obviously make money, okay? The first one is I'm going to break down as the speed to lead, right? The highest intent leads go cold fast, guys. So call every new lead, qualify intent, and then create a fastest path to a human conversation. So lead comes in, they fill out the form, you call them within 2 to 5 seconds, or 2 to 5 minutes, right? And then you automatically bring them through a qualification process, usually 2 or 3 questions, right? Usually 2 questions with the dynamic third question based upon how they answer the second question, right? So let's say if you have a hard financial qualifier of like, hey, do you make $1 million a year? And they say, hey, I only make $500,000 a year. Maybe your next qualification question is, hey, our services start at $10,000 to get XYZ outcomes, usually for $1 million businesses. Since you usually don't qualify, if we make an exception for you, do you have the means to pay $10,000? Yeah, if it all makes sense, sure I do. Boom. Then they either get transferred. I think live call transfer, guys, is the best in the world. Lots of deals for clients got closed off live call transfer. So like, boom, send it to a human right away. If the client has a sales team capable in the bandwidth, that's the best use case. If not, then book the meeting, right? Like actually book it on someone's calendar and then confirm with them on the phone. The AI confirms, did you receive the invite? Yes. Did you open up the email? Yes. Okay, great. Enjoy your call. Have a blessed day. Bye. Boom, right? The live call transfer is fire, guys. Get them on the phone, qualify them. Yeah, and they're hot. They're right there. They just got off the ad. They just seen the website or whatever. They're super hot. Send it to a salesperson that's sitting there waiting to do what God put them on the planet to do, which is to close deals. All right. Now, we can skip this one here. So the next use case is going to be a receptionist. This is really self-explanatory. I'm not going to go too deep on this, but I'm going to talk about one particular dynamic here that you want to make sure that you add in your receptionist to make it better than 95% of the products on the market. And that is having dynamic outcomes of the receptionist, right? So it in the beginning of the call knows that it's a lead, an existing customer, or just a complete spam waste of time, right? And then based upon what bucket that person's in, it brings them through that scripted process. And then it has its own dynamic outcome for each one of those buckets. So if it's a qualified lead, book a call with the sales team. If it's a customer, leave a message through a Slack channel message or email to the team or something like that, but leave a message. And the third one is politely get them off the phone because they're burning your credits with your AI agent and it's just spam, right? Like hang up the phone as fast as possible if they're spam. So that's it for the receptionist. Super easy product to sell. I think every business owner should have a receptionist. You don't need to charge a lot of money for this, especially if you pick a particular vertical or niche. You can pretty much like kind of sell this as a SaaS and use it as like a tripwire to sell other things. The other one, which is going to be hard mode, is going to be strategic reactivation. So dormant leads, right? So once again, like this isn't it's like doing an email campaign, right? Like it needs to be fit inside of what they're doing, and you need to have a very compelling thing for them to want to do the next step, right? So this is going to rely a lot more on business and go-to-market strategy than it is about the AI agent. But it is incredible that you can, at scale, reactivate 10,000 leads. Now, to give you some very, I think, important information that you're going to want to know if you're going to do reactivation agent is you want to do it by the batch. So when we do reactivation campaigns, we would do 1,000 to 2,000 calls a day, and we would spread it out, because if you're doing live call transfer, you don't want to be in a situation where you send a live call transfer, but the sales team is selling a call with someone else, right? So you want to make sure that the cadence is set up right, where you're like kind of calling staggered throughout a day, not all at once or 20 calls every 5 seconds or something like that, right? So you want to be very smart on how you roll that out. Okay, super important. But yeah, guys, I'm not going to go too much deeper into the strategic reactivation, because it's really going to matter a lot about, once again, the business go-to-market strategy and the offer, right? That's way more important than anything else in this use case. Fantastic, guys. So I would just say, start with one leak in a bucket. Maybe you have some strategic insight. Literally open up a Figma board or pencil and paper and just like draw out a process, figure out a leak, and then build an AI agent for that leak, and then name that agent. So we named ours Sarah, Ava, Rebecca. Like, we created names, and then the customers will call it those names too. Like, hey, my Rebecca, my Sarah. Like, they'll literally call them people. So build a workflow, name the workflow, and then stack workflows. Right now you have a suite of duplicatable AI agents. To kind of give you guys some last minute game, you want to make sure that the tech stack is the same. So don't do custom tech stacks. You want to control whatever the CRM you're going to use. Like, you want to create a standard and only master that one thing. So let's just say you're a HubSpot specialist. Only use HubSpot to start. Only companies with HubSpot. Go high level is the easiest for small businesses. Easy because they have the workflows, the automations. It can get expensive with the triggers and stuff like that, especially if you're doing webhooks and things like that. But pick one stack to build off of and like sell that stack, right? Don't try to do too much custom things. Try to quote as close to your stack as possible, because you will drive yourself crazy trying to do custom stacks for every single person at a great price point. Like, it's just, you get into a fulfillment nightmare, because not all APIs are the same, and it's going to be hard to duplicate. So if you hire someone, you're going to have 5 people on this one, 5 people on that one, 5 people on this one. It's really hard to manage and really hard to scale. So pick your tech stack and then base your sales calls and build your solutions around bringing your customers into your tech stack, right? And at the end of the day, they don't care about the tech stack. They care about the business outcomes. So if you're selling business outcomes, it's just a matter of, can you creatively find a way for them to use your tech stack to be effective? When doing a reactivation campaign, does it need to be in their CRM? Probably not. With speed to lead, you can have 2 CRMs. One CRM is for the AI agent, one CRM is for what their humans use, but you just want to do speed to lead. It doesn't matter if it's in their CRM, the AI triggers, as long as the person gets called within 5 minutes. That's all that matters. So don't get distracted with, hey, let me build my speed to lead agent inside of their CRM. The customer really doesn't care. They just want to know, can the AI call within 5 minutes? That's it. And then can you communicate that to their CRM on the back end? Right? That's where you figure it out. So like, don't build the agent in their CRM, build the agent in your stack, and then just see if you can communicate the outcomes to their CRM, right? That's all that matters, guys. Now, let me get into the fun part, which is the pricing, right? So how do you price these models, right? So voice agents, 3 to 10K setup fees, right? I'm a big believer in, you could do pay up front if you want, if someone's willing to do it. But for me, I think it's important to do 50% up front and 50% at launch, right? Super easier to close. And sometimes people just drag their feet, right? And so like, You're gonna get some situations where like it takes 3 months to fulfill because like they disappear. It happens all the time. I feel like 2 out of every 10 customers I get, like they just like disappear. It's super odd. They pay us the onboard and then they just like disappear for like a week or a month, right? So 50% upfront, 50% at launch. So always collect all the money before you press go. Hey, you tested it out. Do you love it? Yes, this is exactly what I wanted. Great. Pay me the rest of the money, right? Super important. Never really got stiffed ever. So like, don't have trust issue, guys. If this is a serious business owner, they pay vendors, like I'm sure they'll pay you. If not, then like it's just the cost of business. People are gonna do shady stuff. You can't fight that. You can't prevent that. Don't create friction in your business because of shady people. Most people are great people. 99% of people that pay vendors are gonna pay you, especially if you do great work. Now, if you do very bad work, just take care of the customer. Be customer centric. Don't be a stickler, deliver poop, and then expect someone to pay gold prices for poop. Deliver a great product and people will pay you for it. It's very simple because they want to pay you for the next problem that they have, right? Now, that's for the voice agents, guys. 3 to 10K, 3K low end if you do, let's say, 2 agents, 10K for like a more sophisticated system. You're delivering 5 or 6 agents, right? Speed to lead, email agent, follow-up agent, receptionist, live call transfer, the whole shebang, right? 10K should be easy, right? So plenty of those. Another important thing that we did a lot of, which is bundling. This is actually where you get a lot more leverage and you actually close more deals, is because you can't do TCPA cold calling, but everyone wants to use AI to get more business. They're like, how do I get more people on the phone? Not everyone needs voice agents. They need also lead gen. So doing some type of advertisement, or if you do have a legal way, let's say email marketing or Google PPC or YouTube ads, TikTok ads, whatever, generating traffic to feed your AI agent system and bundling, I think 5K is reasonable. And that's over, it could be, $1,500 a month, $2,000 a month, whatever, right? AI agents plus ads is a really great bundle and they sell a lot better because now you're also selling leads, right? Lead gen, right? You're actually probably gonna sell, if I had to equate, I would say 80% of our business sold both. I take that back. 60% of our business sold both, 20% of our business sold voice agents, and another 20% just sold advertisement, right? And then another important clip is you want your maintenance to be lean, guys. Like I hate hearing stories of guys charging like $2,000 for AI agent maintenance when it's really no maintenance and you're creating friction in your offer. It's like, and then it's more likely, just don't do it, guys. Unless it's a legit enterprise build out and like you're doing lots of changes associated with it. Like it's like you're building pretty much new agents every single month or something like that, or every single quarter. I can see that, but charge lean maintenance, guys. $100, $200, $500 max a month to maintain people's AI agents, right? Also, build it all into their systems because you don't want to have that compliance headache as well. So I did both, but if I started over again, I wouldn't build them out in my systems. I'll build it out in their systems for 2 reasons. 1, it's easier to sell if they own everything. 2, you don't take on that liability of them misusing the system, and then now you're kind of like in the soup of their situations, right? Once again, you can give people a weapon. It's all about how they use that weapon, right? Yeah. So once again, keep maintenance lean. Put in their name, and then expand your SKU stack. So just keep stacking use cases, these recipes of AI agents, and create a menu of agents that solve people's problems that give them business outcomes. So it's super, super simple, guys, okay? So you want to sell one revenue workflow before the platform. So like you want to get people on the phone, or you want to start pitching people on Upwork or code outreach. Like you want to focus on your distribution network after you map out what your use case is going to be, because now you know what you're messaging and what to look for and what problems you want to solve. I would reach out and get a signal first before building something, right? So if you want to do speed to lead, you need to go into the marketplace and find people that have a speed to lead problem, get them on the phone, or getting some form of communication through messaging on Upwork or Fiverr or LinkedIn or cold email or advertisement. I'm a big fan of ads, as you guys may know. Ads are just easier. And then like get a signal from the market that they're willing to buy it, and then go out and build it. right? Don't waste 2 to 3 weeks building something that no one really wants or you have the capability to sell. Because once you have a buyer lined up, it makes it super easy to build. You'll be so motivated. You'll be up at 2 o'clock in the morning, sitting there AI vibe coding your life away, right? When you have buyers. So focus on distribution after you figure out, okay, what use case I'm solving, how am I messaging it, how am I going to package my offer, and then just get people on the phone, guys. Spend most of your time getting people on the phone first and then build out the system, right? Super, super simple, guys. Awesome. So if you made it this far, I want to say I appreciate you for tuning in for another episode. Hopefully you got a lot of value from this. Once again, I've been traveling the world and been blessed to be able to do this from my laptop, work with hundreds of businesses, generate tons of leads, make tons of phone calls with AI. And I want more people to live this life. And I think there's not enough people to help these small businesses out there, because the more people that are able to do this, the more businesses that would actually stay in business, because they now get access to services that they couldn't afford with humans. And it just helps everyone live a better life. It helps capitalism. It helps the world. It helps society. And most importantly, helps you also get freedom. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Go to our website, AI Mentorship, or getaimentorship.com. And you'll be able to get some guides there. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm always here to support you guys. So bye-bye.